President Park Geun-hye has asked for responsible decisions on the labor market, also saying that reforming the public pension system is the call of our times. A fire broke out at a nuclear power plant in Busan on Tuesday night, but the part affected was not a key component, and reactors are now working normally again. And South Korean and U.S. Navy and Marine Corps engage in a large-scale amphibious landing exercise on the southeast coast as part of their annual Full Eagle military exercises. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Wednesday, April 1st. I'm Luke Clary. At a cabinet meeting at the Cheong, President Park Geun-hye asked that labor, management, and politicians come together to make responsible decisions on the labor market. The president also said that reforming the public pension system is the call of our times.
At Tuesday's cabinet meeting, President Park Geun-hye urged the labor sector, management, and government to make responsible decisions. Tuesday was the deadline for the latest labor negotiation. She stressed that young people should not be subjected to low-wage discrimination and employment instability stemming from the outdated systems and practices of the labor market.
마지막 기회라는 절체절명의 각오로 서로 조금씩 양보하면서 유종의 결실을 맺어주기를 기대합니다.
The president also said that the future of our children depends on the reform of the public pension system. She added that the reform may be painful, but it is a mission that must succeed. She proposed that the reform must be carried out in a fair way to match the national pension system and reduce government budget.
하루가 늦어질수록 매일 80억 원씩, 그러니까 오늘도 80억 원의 보존액이 들어가고 있는 연금입니다.
President Park also said that waste of tax money and corruption associated with uncertain government projects will not be forgiven and asked support to wipe out corruption.
A fire broke out at a nuclear power plant in Busan on Tuesday night. The power plant said that the part affected by the fire is not a key operational component, and nuclear reactors are working normally. Part of the equipment in a turbine building at the Kori No. 3 reactor was burned black. A turbine turns high-temperature steam generated at a nuclear reactor into electricity. A fire broke out at a water supply heating pump, which enhances the effectiveness of the turbine. The fire occurred at 8:23 p.m. Tuesday. The situation was returned to normal by 10 p.m. after the fire was extinguished and the smoke removed. The Kori nuclear plant announced that the reactor plant is functioning normally as the device in question is unrelated to overall safety.
고리 3호기는 지금 화재와 무관하게 정상 운행 중이고 인명 피해라든지 특별한 사안이 발생하지 않았습니다.
Officials at the power plant are investigating the cause of the fire, believing it likely that the motor of the water pump overheated and caught fire. The South Korean and U.S. Navy and Marine Corps are in the midst of their annual Full Eagle military exercise. This week, large-scale landing drills take place on the southeast coast. An American helicopter also practiced landing and taking off from the South Korean amphibious vessel Dokdo for the first time.
A joint ROK-U.S. landing operation was carried out simultaneously from the sky and at sea, as fighter jets bombed the enemy base along the coastline. Amphibious tanks made landfall on the beach while shooting smoke bombs. South Korean and American Marines quickly readied for combat and secured a bridgehead on the beach. Once the beach was secured, K-1 tanks equipped with self-propelling cannons rolled out of the landing and transport vessels to attack the enemy camp. At the same time, shots were fired and paratroopers jumped out from the helicopters in an aerial attack to disrupt the rear end of the enemy line. The multifaceted assault involving the Army, Navy, and Air Force of South Korea and the U.S. dealt decisive blows to the simulated enemy stronghold. The landing exercise ended successfully.
Our two units working together, getting to know each other, our capabilities, our limitations, and just establishing that trust between us so that we can work better together in the future.
In the drill, the U.S. military's latest Osprey helicopter carrying Korean troops practiced landing and taking off from the South Korean amphibious vessel Dokdo to test its joint mission capacity. The landing exercise, involving some 30 ships, including the Dokdo and Aegis, and 7,600 troops, is scheduled to end on Wednesday.
From January this year, smoking has been banned in all public areas like restaurants, cafes, and internet cafes. And with the policy's grace period ending in March, violators of the smoking ban will be fined starting from April.
This is an outdoor balcony of a coffee shop in downtown Seoul. Office workers sit around a table and have a cigarette break over a cup of coffee. In other shops as well, people smoke in areas located directly adjacent to tables. All of these are illegal acts. Smoking at restaurants or coffee shops results in fines of approximately $90 for the violators and $1,500 for the owners. Installation of separate smoking areas and the use of electronic cigarettes will also be subject to punishment.
각 지자체에서 이렇게 확대된 금연구역의 지도와 단속을 제대로 할 수 있도록 확실한 금연구역 단속이 이루어지도록 할 계획입니다.
As the 3-month grace period for the smoking ban ended on March 31st, violators, both smokers and owners, will be fined without exception. The government will also crack down on smoking at other public areas such as bus terminals.
An opening ceremony on Wednesday marked the opening of the Honam High-Speed Railway, which will begin operations on Thursday this week. The new express train service will take just an hour and a half to travel between Yongsan Station in Seoul and Songjeong Station in Gwangju.
The Honam High-Speed Railway opened on Wednesday, 11 years after the first high-speed train went into operation in 2014. The opening ceremony for the Honam KTX Railway was held on Wednesday at Songjeong Station in Gwangju. It will go into official operation on Thursday. With the opening of the Honam KTX line, it will now be possible to reach Gwangju in the southwestern part of the country within a couple of hours. The trip from Seoul to Gwangju will take as fast as 1 hour and 33 minutes to an average of 1 hour and 47 minutes on the KTX, shaving off more than an hour from the current travel time. Previously, KTX tracks were available only between Seoul and Daejeon, but now the travel time has been shortened dramatically, as more than 90% of the entire segment is now able to accommodate KTX trains running at speeds of more than 300 kilometers per hour. The Honam KTX line starts at Yongsan Station in Seoul and stops at Cheonan in South Chungcheong Province, Osong in North Chungcheong Province, Southern Gwangju, Iksan, and Cheongup before arriving at Songjeong Station in Gwangju. The number of KTX services will be increased as well. On weekends, a total of 68 express trains will be available to the southwestern region. 16 services to Songjeong Station in Gwangju, 32 to Mokpo, and 20 to Yeosu. Korail projects that about 30,000 people will use the Honam KTX line per day.
Starting this month, support will be expanded for young people who are struggling to pay back their debts to financial companies. Undergraduates will be allowed to defer repayment for up to 4 years after graduation.
Still without a full-time regular job 3 years after graduating from college, this woman faces the added stress of having to repay her student loans.
내가 돈은 벌고 있지만 돈을 또 모을 수 없고 그러니까 이거를 한 3, 4년간을 계속 생활이 별로 나아지지 않는 거죠.
A credit restoration assistance program has been expanded for people in their 20s facing difficulties repaying their debts to financial companies. In the past, debts were expected to be paid back unconditionally 2 years after graduation, regardless of employment. But starting in April, the payment deferment period will be extended to 4 years. The scope of people eligible for the program has also been expanded. In addition to college students, anyone aged 29 years or under can defer the payment of their debts for up to 4 years if they remain unemployed. For unemployed people aged 29 years or below who lack the financial capability to repay their debts, up to 60% of the principal can be exempted if they apply and are approved for debt adjustment. The government expects that the expanded debt aid program will help young people focus on finding jobs, freed from concerns about their debts.
Cases of people stealing the pet dogs of others have been on the rise recently. It's heartbreaking for the owners, but the misdemeanor investigation team is vigilant about solving these crimes.
This movie is about a girl who steals a dog to earn money in a bid to find a new home. Received rave reviews. But in real life, stealing someone else's dog is definitely a crime. This dog running around the parking lot was stolen by a man on the night of March 23rd. The man lured the dog toward his car, picked it up, then put it inside the vehicle and drove off. The thief, who turned out to be in his 50s, was apprehended 2 days later. He was caught after contacting the dog's owner. The man sought compensation for returning the animal after he saw an ad promising a financial reward for finding the dog.
뭐 좋다 이런 걸로 표현이 안 될 정도로 그냥 눈물밖에 안 나요.
Back in December, police caught a 70-something-year-old woman for stealing a dog from a pet shop in Yongin, Geunhye Province.
할아버지하고 두 분만 사시다 보니까 좀 외롭기도 하고 또 개도 한 마리 좀 키워봐야 되겠다는 생각이 있어가지고.
Pet dog thieves were caught quickly thanks to the investigation team dedicated to fighting petty crime. Police say that those who accidentally run across stray dogs should report them to the local authorities or animal shelters because bringing a stray dog home can be a crime.
The popular idol group EXO has released its second album after a 2-year hiatus. Popular overseas, it could even outsell EXO's first album. Here's more from the world of show business.
Exodus, the second album from the boy band EXO, has climbed to the 5th spot of the U.S. music site iTunes in the general albums category. Responses to the album globally have been enthusiastic. It has topped music charts in 11 Asian regions, including Hong Kong and Taiwan, and ranked 4th, 5th, and 6th in Russia, Turkey, and Sweden, respectively. Meanwhile, the new album from the girl group Miss A has swept the top slots on domestic music charts. The title song, Only You, topped major real-time music charts immediately upon its release. At a news conference for the album's release, group member Suzy spoke highly of her boyfriend, actor Lee Min-ho, as a considerate man with a warm heart. Kim Jae-jung of the group JYJ, Seungmin of Super Junior, and actor Choi Jin-hyuk all began their military service on the same day. All three were born in 1986. They will serve as active duty soldiers for 1 year and 9 months. The three didn't hold any farewell ceremonies, only notifying their fans of their military service via the internet.
Social networking services such as Twitter and Facebook help people connect with one another more easily, but they can also leave you exposed to fraud and other crimes by making your personal information public. Here are some do's and don'ts when it comes to your use of social networking services.
Sharing information is quick anytime, anywhere through social networking services or social media. Geunhye instantly posts photos of herself cooking and her children enjoying her food on her social media page. She even feels rewarded when she sees people promptly making comments on her posts.
친구들하고 소통도 하고 또 대화도 하고 그렇기 때문에 또 사용을 안 할 수는 없더라고요.
One survey found that 61% of Koreans use social media regularly. But some people who lie on their SNS posts or celebrities who blatantly advertise their businesses are sometimes criticized online.
소셜 네트워크 서비스를 악용한 범죄가 급속히 번지고 있는데요.
Also, personal information leaked through the social media sites can be used for fraud, like opening fake bank accounts. This woman in her 20s claims that she was the victim of SNS fraud. Somebody hacked into her social media site to impersonate her and borrow thousands of dollars from her friends.
너무 무서워서 제가 쓰는 모든 SNS 다 탈퇴해버렸어요.
Personal information you innocently post on your SNS sites can be collected by scammers with a simple search of your name. The information obtained this way can be used for criminal purposes.
자신이 하고 있는 일들이 다른 사람들한테 너무 많이 이제 노출되다 보니까 거기에서 피로감을 느끼는 사람들이 많습니다. 그게 싫어서 탈퇴하는 분들이 많이 있습니다.
If you want to use your social media more safely, try not to use smartphone apps that may expose your personal information or location. Also, limit the scope of visitors to your SNS site by changing your privacy option when posting an article and block out your location information. Lastly, change your password frequently. If you take these precautions, using social media services can be fun and rewarding, and most importantly, safe.
Now let's take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.